Hey, y'all, what's up? Look what I have out. You know what that means? It is October. I'm so happy. Okay, so to start off my October TBR, I got Lala the Pumpkin Queen by Shia Earnshaw. I am so excited for this. I'm so ready. It said the nightmare didn't end after Christmas. So we are going to find out some things. So together we're going to find out some things right now. Jack and Sally are truly meant to be, or are they? Sally Skellington is the official newly minted Pumpkin Queen after a whirlwind courtship with her true love, Jack. Sally adores Jack with every inch of her fabric seams, if only she could say the same for her new role as Queen of Halloween Town. Cast into the spotlight and tasked with all sorts of queenly duties, Sally can't help wondering if she's traded her captivity under Dr. Frankenstein, Finkelstein, for a different, albeit gilded cage. But when Sally and Zero accidentally uncover a long-hidden doorway to an ancient realm called Dreamtown, she unknowingly sets in motion a chain of sinister events that will put her future as Pumpkin Queen and the future of Halloween Town itself in jeopardy. Can Sally discover what it means to be true to herself and save the town she's learned to call home, or will her future turn into her worst, nightmare? Okay. So I did not expect that. And so Shia Earnshaw is a New York Times bestselling author and winner of the Oregon Book Award. Her books have been published in over 12 countries and languages, and her novels, The Wicked Deep and Winter Wood, were indie next picks. Her debut adult fiction novel, A History of Wild Places, was released in December 2021. Okay. And what does this look like under the naked cover? Oh, it's boring. You don't want to see it. Anyway, I think there might be some illustrations in here. I'm not 100% sure. It says, I sense there's something in the wind that feels like tragedies at hand. Sally Tim Burton's A Nightmare Before Christmas. Oh my gosh, you guys. I am so excited for this. I cannot wait to start reading this. I have been a Sally fan, like a Nightmare Before Christmas fan, ever since I watched Nightmare Before Christmas for the first time ever. I know Sally's song. I know all of it by heart. I know a lot of the songs from there. I love it so much. I'm so excited. Okay. Next, now that we have that big old gem out of the way, I have Meet Me in the Middle of the Air, stories by Eric Schaller. This is Dark Miracles, Black Comedies. So this is just a bunch of different stories and things like that, which we love, little anthologies and things like that. So there's that. We have Nothing But Blackened Teeth by Cassandra Khaw, which everybody has been raving about this book. It's super short, too. That's the crazy thing. It's only 100, yes, you heard me say that correctly, 125 pages. That is it. Next, we have Hexed, The Sisters of Witchdown, the first novel based on the Hexed comic by Michael Allen Nelson. I guess there's a comic for it. I have no idea what this is about, but, I love the fact that, she's holding a teddy bear. This kind of reminds me of my series that I'm watching called Tagged. Because it dealt with, a stuffed animal burning and a house fire and all that, and the girl did wear hoodies and stuff like that, so maybe it's part of that? I'm not 100% sure. It does look like it's going to be a lot of fun to read, though. It says the first novel based on the... What the hell was that? Did you guys hear that? Or am I just hearing things? The first novel based on the Hex comic, Lucy Jennifer Inacio das Neves, Lucifer for short, isn't your typical teenage girl. She's a thief who survives by stealing bad things from bad people in the magical underworld hidden alongside our own. So when a policeman's daughter, Gina, is kidnapped by an inexplicable force, Lucifer is the only one who has a chance of getting her back. With the unsolicited help of Gina's friends, including Gina's boyfriend, David, Lucifer's investigation leads to the unfortunate truth of the kidnapping. Gina was taken by a creature of unspeakable evil, one of the seven sisters of Witchdown. Against all odds, Lucifer must use every magical tool hidden in her trick bag to steal her away into the shade and bring Gina back before the sisters sacrifice her for their own dark ends. But the closer Lucifer gets to Gina, the closer she gets to David. Lucifer must risk her life confronting demons, witches, and the cruel demigoddess who controls her destiny, all to save the one girl who stands in the way of Lucifer finally finding love. Well, that's just not what I expected at all. I didn't expect this girl to be Lucy or Lucifer for short. And even darker demons? How is that humanly possible? I don't know what it is, but today my, Wi-Fi has been total dog crap. I'm trying to figure out, I don't remember, because I pulled these a couple days early, but this is The Death of Bunny Monroe, a novel by Nick Cave, and it's got pink on the cover, and I'm trying to figure out if pink was supposed to be one of the cover stories, or maybe it was, I don't know. I want to say it was pink, but I'm not sure, and this isn't working. Okay, hold on. Here we go. So it is the Buzzword Reading Challenge 2022 that Books and Lala does. So we are in a book with an animal or creature in the title. So that's a bunny. So that's why we have The Death of Bunny Monroe by Nick Cave. And then I believe the color for Bookstones of the Month is pink. Okay, so books that have pink on them. Okay, that makes more sense. I was trying to figure that one out. I was like, what is going on here? Because we have some spoopy books. You know, we have spoopy books, and then we have books that are just like this, and I'm just like, okay, maybe death? I don't know if I incorporated that, maybe. But anyway, so we have animals on the cover, pink cover, and spoopy season for all of October. Now, with that being said, I do have this one, which actually kind of will work for two of those prompts, and that is Horror Hotel by Victoria Fulton and Faith McLaren. Yes, I have hauled this already. It's one of my library book picks, but I only made it halfway through, and I want to finish it. And so I thought, yeah, October would be the perfect time to pick it back up. Okay, so there is that one. And then one more that we have from the library is the Pallbearers Club by Paul Tremblay. And that's because pallbearers deal with funerals, and funerals deal with spooky, and spooky deals with spirits and fun stuff like that. So I figured that this would be sufficient enough for October as well, for spooky season. I do also have one that's not going to make any sense, but it's a thriller, but it's called One by One. And it's another one that, yes, I did haul from the library recently. It's by Frida McFadden. This is about couples that go into the woods. Well, they don't intentionally go into the woods. They're going to their hotel, and then their vehicle breaks down on the side of the road, and they have to hike through the woods in order to get to the hotel on foot. However, only one of them makes it to the hotel. Somebody or something is trying to kill them, or is killing them one by one. All right. So now, The Death of Bunny Monroe by Nick Cave. I have no idea what this one's about, and you know my, I'm sorry, my TBR videos are always super freaking long. Anyway, sent adrift by his wife's suicide and struggling to keep a grip on reality, Bunny Monroe does the only thing he can think of. With his young son in tow, he hits the road. To his son, waiting patiently in the car while his father peddles beauty wares and quickies to lonely housewives in the south of England, Bunny is a hero, larger than life. But Bunny himself, haunted by what might be his wife's ghost, seems only dimly aware of his son's existence. When his bizarre trip shades into a final reckoning, when he can no longer be sure what is real and what is not, Bunny finally begins to recognize the love he feels for his son. And he sees that the revenants of his world, decrepit fathers, vengeful ghosts, jealous husbands, and horned psycho killers are lurking in the shadows waiting to exact their toll. At turns dark and humane, The Death of Bunny Monroe is a tender portrait of the relationship between a boy and his father, with all the wit and enigma that fans will recognize as Nick Cave's singular vision. Now, I've never read a Nick Cave book. However, this book is like bright ass pink. underneath the dust jacket, but it's a library book, so I can't do anything. Or, actually, it's my book. I can do it. Wait. Yeah. Anyway, next we have Wild Beauty by Anna Marie McLemore. And this is just one that's on my TBR. It does look like it's going to be beautiful, though, and fun, and we love that. It says, this was a thing he'd learned, that setting his hand on a girl's back and that girl letting his hand stay led to fairy rings and pounds full of stars. Even in its first faint traces, love could alter a landscape. It wrote in unimagined stories and made the most beautiful, forbidding places. Love grew such strange things. So it's like a little love story, I'm guessing. I'm not 100% sure. I think what we're going to do is we're going to do a try chapter after I release this video as well, because I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Next, we have The Summer of No Attachments by Lori Foster. This one is like an anticipated read. I've had this on my list for a minute. It's been in my eye for a minute as well. And this is Summer Flings with no strings strings means nobody gets hurt. At least that was the plan. After putting the brakes on her dead-end relationship, local veterinarian Ivy Anders is ready to soak up the summer on her own terms. The way she sees it, no dating means no disappointment. Why complicate life with anything long-term? But when she meets Corbin Mayer and his troubled young son Justin, Ivy's no-string strategy threatens to unravel before she can put it into practice. Trust doesn't come easy for Ivy's best friend Hope Mage, a veterinary clinic assistant who's affected by an incident that's colored every relationship she's had. Girl, I feel you. Though Hope's happy for Ivy, she can't quite open her own heart to the possibility of love, not just yet. Maybe not ever. Soon, however, she's faced with a dilemma. Corbin's older brother, Lane. He's charming, he's kind, and he may just be the reason Hope needs to finally tear down her walls. And as the sweet summer months unspool, the two friends discover love won't give up on them so easily. So it just sounds like a cute little heartfelt, lovey-dovey, something if you're too scared from some of the other books. Next, we have 1,000 Beginnings and Endings by Ellen O. and Elsie Chapman. And let me tell you, this book has been on my list for a minute. Oh, it's got stories by Renee Audier, Elise Chapman, Sonia Cheripotra, Preeti Shabir, Roshani Chakshi, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering these, Elliot de Barard, Melissa de la Cruz, Julie Kagawa, Raul Kanakia, Lori M. Lee, E.C. Myers, Cindy Pon, Aisha Saeed, Shveta Thakrar, and Alyssa Wong. Star-crossed lovers, meddling immortals, fiend identities, dire warnings. These are the stuff of myth and legend. Add a dangerous smile, a game that pulls players out of one world and into another, a ghost town, never anymore, a night of dancing, and this collection of inspired and original retellings is only just beginning. 15 acclaimed authors reimagine tales from their own East and South Asian cultures. Classic epics, lush fantasy, inventive science fiction, sparkling contemporary. There's a story here for every reader to devour, but beware, not every tale has a happy ending. I didn't realize that this was an anthology, and I'm so here for it. I love anthologies. You guys have no idea. Okay, maybe you have a little bit of an idea, but not really. Next, we have The Con Artist, live at Comic-Con, July 19th to 22nd, by Fred Van Lente. I had no idea what this is about, besides maybe being at a Comic-Con. It does have some really great illustrations in it. Not, like, super great, but, like, fun illustrations, I guess, kind of, sort of. Not 100% sure. It came from the Dayton Metro Library in Dayton, Ohio. The comic book industry can be murder. Comic book artist Mike Mason arrives at San Diego Comic-Con seeking sanctuary with other fans and creators and maybe a chance to reunite with his ex, but when his romantic rival is found murdered, Mike becomes the prime suspect. Whoa! To clear his name, he'll have to navigate every corner of the con, from zombie obstacle courses and cosplay flash mobs to intrusive fans and obsessive collectors, as he unravels a dark secret behind one of the industry's most legendary creators. Along the way, he's sketching everything he sees. The novel includes 10 illustrations by real-life comic artist Tom Fowler, and don't be surprised if these drawings include a handful of important clues. This illustrated mystery will appeal to comic book fans and anyone who appreciates an unconventional whodunit. Okay, that's kind of cool. So there's 10 different illustrations in here that go entirely with the story. I didn't know that. Alright, the next one is The Dolls by Kiki Sullivan. Boys want them, girls want to be them, someone wants them dead. This seems like it's about, like, kind of like Mean Girls, but meets, like, a deadlier version, and, I mean, I'm living for that heel. Look at that heel, you guys. You see that snake coil at the heel? On a snake skin. Oh my god. It's the first book in a series that I want to read so bad. I own the books, so I want to get to them at some point. It says, welcome to Carrefour, where lawn-berry secrets simmer like heat over the bayou, and whatever you desire most can be yours for a price. Ebony Cheval has just moved back to Louisiana after spending her childhood in New York with her Aunt Bee. Ebony hasn't, can I just call her Envy? I think we're just going to call her Envy. Hasn't seen her own son since her mother's suicide 14 years ago, and her memories couldn't have prepared her for what she encounters because pristine, perfectly manicured Carrefour has a dark side full of intrigue, betrayal, and lies. And Envy quickly finds herself at the center of it all. Enter Peregrine, Marceau, Chloe St. Peter, and their group of rich, sexy friends, collectively known as the Dolls. From sipping champagne at lunch to hooking up with the hottest guys, Peregrine and Chloe have everything, including an explanation for what's going on in this town. They want to bring Envy into their circle, share their darkest truths with her, introduce her to handsome, enigmatic Caleb Shaw, and Ebony doesn't trust them one bit. But after murder strikes in Carrefour and Ebony discovers that everything she believes about herself, her family, and her life is a lie, she's forced to turn to the Dolls for answers. Something's wrong in paradise, and it's up to Envy, Chloe, and Peregrine to save Carrefour and make it right. New York Times author Rachel Hawkins says, with its spooky southern setting, magic and mayhem, and a heroine I'd invite to my slumber party anytime, The Dolls is shivery fun at its finest. And this is the first book in the series, like I said. So it sounds fun. Next, yes, we have more. We have Stephen King's If It Bleeds. Now, as soon as this came out, I ran to the store to get it, and I still have not read it. Okay, in January of 2021, a small padded envelope addressed to Detective Ralph Anderson is delivered to the Conrads, the Andersons' next-door neighbors. The Anderson family is on an extended vacation in the Bahamas. Printed on this envelope in large letters is "Do not forward, hold for arrival." When Ralph opens the package, he finds a flash drive titled If It Bleeds, presumably referring to the old news trope which proclaims, if it bleeds, it leads. The drive holds a kind of reported or spoken word diary from Holly Gibney, with whom the detective shared a case that began in Oklahoma and ended in a Texas cave. It was a case that changed Ralph Anderson's perception of reality forever. The final words of Holly's audio report are from an entry dated December 19th, 2020. I need a minute. I'm so sorry about that. She sounds out of breath. I have done the best I can, Ralph, but it may not be enough. In spite of all my planning, there's a chance I won't come out of this alive. If I do die and you choose to continue what I've started, please be careful. You have a wife and son. Whoa. Yeah, this is by Stephen King, and I thought this was just like an anthology series, but it's not, and now I'm kind of really interested in it, because I literally thought this was an anthology, and it's not. Okay, we have 2 more books, well, technically 4 more books, maybe. Woo, good thing that was empty. Wow. Alright, we have this giant book called books 1, 2, and 3 called Sleepers by Jacqueline Druga, and it's a vampire, not anthology, not, a trilogy. A normal spring morning cascades into a nightmare world. Increased natural disasters, the onslaught of disease and other phenomena throws the world into chaos. Oh, excuse me, sorry. The sleepers mass in the world thrives, but not with human life. The survivors of a dying country face more than physical and emotional challenges. They face a journey that will take them much further than a search for their loved ones in the desolate world. Dark truths will emerge, heroes will rise to the occasion, and heartbreaking sacrifices will be made. What's left of humanity struggles to hold off extinction. Will the sleepers inherit the earth? This is an omnibus edition of the first 3 books in the Sleeper series. Huh. It's a lot of pages. Anyway, the last book we have is Kirsten White's The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein. I have no idea what this is about. It sounds so, like, it looks so good. Let's see how it sounds. Elizabeth Lavenza hasn't had a proper meal in weeks. Her thin arms are covered with bruises from her caregiver, and she is on the verge of being thrown into the streets until she is brought to the home of Victor Frankenstein, an unsmiling, solitary boy who is everything except a friend. Victor is her escape from misery. Elizabeth does everything she can to make herself indispensable, and it works. She is taken in by the Frankenstein family and rewarded with a warm bed, delicious food, and dresses of the finest silk. Soon she and Victor are inseparable. But her new life comes to at a price. As the years pass, Elizabeth's survival depends on managing Victor's dangerous temper and indulging his every whim, no matter how depraved. Behind her blue eyes and sweet smile lies the calculating heart of a girl determined to stay alive, whether the cost, as the world she knows is consumed by darkness. Timed with the 200th anniversary of Frankenstein by Mary Shelley, The Dark Descent of Elizabeth Frankenstein is a stunning reimagination of the classic, speaking to the fears we all bury deep inside. And yeah, that is everything that I plan to read. Let me double check and make sure there's not any books from last month that I can carry over possibly into this. The only book that I think I can get away with carrying over is Don't Look by Alexandra Ivy. Something Shouldn't Be Seen. This is about a serial killer, I believe. If you're on his list, you're as good as dead. A woman's naked body is discovered cold and pale as the surrounding snow. Around the surrounding snow, except for the crimson scarf around her neck. The weeks that follow bring more victims and evidence of a terrifying pattern. The killer has lists, and every woman on it will get what she deserves. Dr. Lynn Gale followed in her father's footsteps to become a vet in Pike, Wisconsin. For years, she's had little contact with Keir Jansen, son of the town's late sheriff. Suddenly, he's back, insisting that Lynn's in danger. She can't believe anyone would target her, but someone is hunting the women of Pike, savoring every last moment. Kerr hoped that his father's frantic calls about a serial killer were just an old man's delusions. But the body count doesn't lie. In this quiet town, a monster stalks and kills, and soon Lynn's will be the last name on his list. So I guess we can add that too. So that makes 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, like 17 books, y'all. And I guarantee you I will not finish On Before Dark by Riley Sager until the end of October, most likely. So that makes 18 books. And I don't think I have any more I can add. I mean, I probably do, but let's go look, shall we? Okay, unfortunately, we can add a lot of books. Like, if you look, we could always get away with adding... Oh, where'd it go? No, not that one. We could always add, if we really wanted to, we could always add Code Zero by Jonathan Mayberry, the sequel to Patient Zero. This is about probably zombie or something, I don't know. We could always add any Stephen King book we can always add. We can add Dolores Claiborne, Firestarter, Joyland, Riley Sager's Final Girls. There's those we can always add. I don't know why there's a pen down here. We could always add Miss March if we wanted to. I know that's about a murderer. We could add, I think it was this one, The Brutal Telling. It's dark humor. We could always add, I believe, Drift was one. Deaths of His Mother and Stepfather. We could add that one. We could always add Eliza and Her Monsters. We could add Body and Soul by Stacey Cade is a Ghost in the Goth novel. I mean, we could add Hater by David Moody, A Woman in the Dark by Vanessa Savage, 14 Ways to Die by Vincent Ralph, Watch by CJ Lyons, The Den by Abby Maxwell, The Snowman by Joan Nesbo. That's about a killer snowman. The Becoming of Noah Shaw, which is the continuation of what is it? The Mara Dyer series. Alone by Sin Balog, a dark confessional with pages that keep you up at night. Comfort Me with Apples by Catherine M. Valente. Everything is perfect, but it's not. We could add My Lovely Wife, She Kills People by Samantha Downing. We could always add His and Hers by Alice Feeney. We could add The Dead by Christian Ratchet. A Good Girl's Guide to Murder by Holly Jackson. Diary of a Serial Killer by Sean William Davis. The Inheritance Games, When No One Is Watching by Alyssa Cole. Invisible Prey, I've Got My Eyes on You. This one's called The Dark Room. It's spooky. One False Move by Alex Cava. Let's see. Not that one. Not that one. The Clocks by Agatha Christie. Female Serial Killers, How and Why Women Become Monsters by Vronsky. I don't know. I'm Not a Serial Killer by Dan Wells. The Compound by Bowden. There's The Greatest Zombie Movie by Jeff Strand. There's The Haunted Hayride with Murder by Orly Wallace. There's Flight or Fright by Stephen King. Lizzie's Story by Stephen King. Killer Year Anthology. There's They Wish They Were Us by Jessica Goodman. I mean, there's so many to choose from here. I don't know. I mean, there's a lot that we could add, but we narrowed it down to 18 books for the month. So I say that's pretty good. I don't know about you guys, but I think that's pretty good. So with that being said, I'm going to end the video here. Let me know down in the comment section below which book you are anticipating hearing about, and maybe I'll do like a review of the one that gets the most votes. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.